Welcome back for the last section of our angles module. So in your notebook, if you turn to the angles section and just remember what we have covered. We've covered a lot of material, a lot of new terms, and now we're up to some triangles. I want to tell you just a little bit about the triangles, and we will be finished with this module. So the first thing I want to tell you is the definition of a triangle. And I've drawn you one here just to refer to, but let's define triangle. Tri means three. So a triangle is a polygon or a shape with three angles. It has three sides, three angles, and it always, without exception, adds up to 180 degrees. So any triangle adds up to 180. If it doesn't, it's not a triangle. By definition, it is not a triangle. There are different kinds of triangles, and I'm not going to go into all of those, but I do want to tell you about two of them. And the first one you're looking at here, this is called an isosceles triangle. A lot of geometry terms are Greek. They come from the Greek language, so they are a little bit different. The spellings can be a little bit funny. But an isosceles triangle has two equal sides. So sometimes they will show you this using tick marks. They'll just show you that those two sides are the same. And also another thing you need to know, a couple of things actually. Let me draw in this angle and then these two angles down here. So here are the three angles that make the triangle. I'm going to make this one yellow. And then these bottom two, I want them to be blue. I want them to match. Because always with an isosceles triangle, and this is a very important thing to understand, it's what makes an isosceles isosceles. It's like the DNA of isosceles. These base angles in an isosceles are always equal. Always. So I'm just going to pick some numbers at random. I have not measured with a protractor, but let's just pretend that this is 70 degrees and this is 70 degrees. That's what makes these two sides be equal sides. Okay, so I know that every triangle has 180 degrees. So I can say 180 minus the 70 and the 70 that are taken up in the base. You can do this on the calculator, but let me explain it for you. That's 140, so 180 minus 140 is 40. That means the vertex angle, which is this one up here, is 40 degrees. Because the inside of that triangle, all of those colored parts, have to add up to 180. So the base angles are each 70, and the vertex angle, the peak, is 40 degrees. And that's the anatomy of an isosceles triangle. Okay, another one that I do want to show you is this one. And I did not put this in because I want you to draw that little box in there. And we should remember what that means. That's very important. That little box represents 90 degrees. So this is called a right triangle. And sometimes you'll have a triangle that is both right and isosceles. And I'll tell you what, let's just make this one be like that also, because this is a good way to show you that there can be two different labels for one triangle. So we have that 90 degree, and we have these two. So let's figure out what those are. We know that every triangle has 180 degrees, and we're going to subtract the blue one that we know. So we end up with 90 degrees that we have to split two ways. This is not 90, and this is not 90. The two of them together make up the 90. So if I say 90 divided by 2, that's 45. So this is 45 degrees, and this is 45 degrees, and that's isosceles. Those two orange ones are my base angle, and this would be the vertex this time. This isosceles triangle is upside down, but it is telling me that these are equal. So right triangle comes from the 90 degrees. The isosceles part comes from two sides being equal. And these are two very good examples of triangles. Have one more part of this that I want to show you, and that's actually a word problem of sorts. And sometimes they will give you a diagram like this one and ask you to find a missing amount. So this is saying that we have an isosceles triangle. We need to find the value of x in degrees. So here is the x. This is what we need to find. We need to find the vertex angle of this isosceles triangle. So let's study out what we know. Let me do it this way first. What are we trying to find? We are trying to find the vertex angle. Okay. So what do we know? We know the 100 degrees is sitting right here. Okay, so let me go ahead and color that maybe with blue, because I'm hoping to jog your memory here. Now, if I needed a bow tie, this would be a little tough, because the bow tie, I don't see it. It would be down here. That's not what we're looking for. But we are looking for an adjacent angle to this one. So let's go ahead and draw that other half. That's half a circle. So 100 and something make a straight line. They make 180 degrees. So we need to know what that something is. And let me color that in a different color. So what is this amount going to be, and how would you come up with it? Well, the math is simple on the calculator. You take the 180, the straight line, minus the 100, and that leaves you with this 80 degrees here. Okay, so 100 plus that missing 80 degrees make 180. Okay. If one base angle is 80, what do you know about the other? You know the other is 2. That's what makes isosceles. We're getting there. So we have another base angle over here. That is also 80 degrees. We're almost there. So how can we find x? How can we find that peak vertex angle? Well, we know that the whole triangle is 180 degrees. And we know that we have used 80 and 80 of that. in our two pink angles, the base angles. So 180 minus 160 is going to be 20. So X, the vertex angle, is 20 degrees. Good math question. Good thing to think about. Okay, this ends Module 1 on angles. I will see you in the next module for polygons. And those, I'll tell you about what those are in the next module. But I encourage you to please review all of your diagrams and everything. Try the quiz, see how you do on that. And I would repeat this module as many times as needed to get the true understanding of what these terms mean. I'm always available to help you. My contact information is in the first part of the notebook, so please let me know if I can help you in any way. And I will see you in the next module. Have a great day.